Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome all of you for Module 2, Lecture 2. The topic is macronutrient. Nutrients are two types, micro and macro. So the Module 2 will be going over the macronutrient and Module 3 will go for micronutrient. Before we go to the topic, I'd like to make you small comment, which is the confusion in the society that we have. Society we are in, everybody think that whatever we're eating, that is right, because they heard from someone that milk is good or milk is bad, or they Google it, chicken is good, chicken is they eating it. Someone think chicken is bad, they don't eat chicken. Someone thought that okay, frying is so bad, so they don't fry. Someone said, oh, frying food is so yummy and fantastic and so high nutrient, they eat fried food. So many confusion because so many knowledge posted in the website, both type. Everything have a good thing, bad thing. So which one is the right thing? We don't know. Someone follow this good side, someone go to bad side. So that's why this is very important to understand what is the right thing, what is the right micronutrient, what is the right macronutrient. And as you see the results, because of so many confusion, right and wrong information in the online, someone following right thing, someone following wrong thing, and we are confused. And the day we go in, we're getting more confused. Look at the society we are in. 50% American are dying of heart attack. This is a terrible situation. So, and 25 to 30% people dying of cancer. And diabetes is 50% American adult are diabetic. This is very, very, severe situation. People don't have quality of their life. People may be living longer, but they're living as a death. They're living in a hell. They're not enjoying the quality of their life they're supposed to be enjoying. If you see, the medical cost is getting higher and higher and higher. Why? Because people getting sicker. As food, different types of food name comes up, new food comes, we're getting new disease. As you understand that we are in the darkness. We're in the darkness and we see the dark other side of the tunnel. Who will be saving this 7.2 billion people's health? We don't know. We actually know we need to move forward. We need to educate ourselves. We need to train ourselves to save the world from this epidemic or disease. Also, one more comment I want to tell you. I want to tell you that is, do you know how many people dying of road accident? As road accident is very dangerous, very common nowadays. 30,000 people. Compared to road accident, tell me how many people dying of food related problem? 4.9 million people. 4.9 million people every year only in United States. If you look at around the world, maybe it's going to be billions, maybe billions of people dying. So this is the situation we are in. So we need to get out of this this severe situation. We have to grow ourselves. We have to educate ourselves. We have to send the message to the world. We have to educate our society, our family, ourselves first. Let's begin how we can understand what is the right food, understanding the macronutrient. So macronutrient we'll go over first. Look at what are the dues that you have for upcoming weeks. For the week, what you have is every Wednesday you need to post your comment on the discussion activity for the course, and Friday your first reply, and Sunday your second reply on the discussion. That will be every week. I'm just putting you as a reminder. and quiz would be taken end of the week every Sunday. After listening my lecture, completing your discussion activity and reading the articles and then reading the book, if you enough confident enough, end of the week on Sunday you take the quiz by Sunday midnight. And one more thing is the 4th week of the course, which is 2 weeks from now, would be our popular article. There will be no lecture. You'll be reviewing all the articles you have been posting, pick an article, or you can choose your own article, online, scientifically reviewed, peer reviewed, and it's published any of the peer journal. And then you writing a summary of the article. So the goal is you can prepare yourself how to read article, how to make summary. So you can start preparing for that from now on. Which paper you're going to be choosing, how you're going to be reviewing article, how you're designing your contents. So this is kind of a reminder for you. And then today's chapter will be talking about structure, function of the macronutrients, and how can you identify the right food to have optimum diet. Also, what are the essential macronutrients that you need to regenerate our body tissue and our cells as well as our whole body, and how to combat, how to fight back with the malnutrition, because we are society we are in, we are suffering with the malnutrition. How can you do that? And then we'll be talking about how to consult someone are deficient of macronutrient, and who should be taking what kind of macronutrient, who are restricted to some types of macronutrients. We will be talking about that. First of all, understand that what is food. Food is something nutrient dense, low toxin, and low anti-inflammatory. That is the food. So eating a food not only for the calorie, make sure the food have a low toxin, may very highly anti-inflammatory, because we get our body get inflamed with a environmental toxicity, the food toxicity, mental stress. So you have to have a food which can reduce your inflammation, nutrify you, and doesn't have any toxicity. So, and then nutrients can be used for energy. Nutrients can be used to synthesizing tissue. As I said, our body is completely regeneratable, and it is being regenerated every moment. So you need to keep taking healthy food, healthy diet, healthy nutrient, so it keep regenerated and you get healthy body by putting in healthy nutrients. Again, if your body is not working properly, have a health issue, then you need to fix that. If you don't fix that, eating healthy food, it will not be able to nutrify you, because food cannot be digested. Even though it is digested, maybe it cannot be absorbed because your body is not functioning properly. So two types of nutrients, macro and micro. Macronutrients are carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and micronutrients, which we'll be talking next chapter, will be vitamins and minerals and water. And macronutrients are carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are kind of bread, bread, sugar, rice, barley, millet, quinoa, that we call carbohydrate. And protein is the one mostly we can find bean, dal, lentil, and legumes, stuff like that. And fish and meat also protein. Protein also in the plant sources also have a lot of proteins. We need to know that part. And fat sources are mostly which is growing, which is creamy and fat, and which is so creamy, buttery, and like a milk, cheese, and butter, and ghee, and then coconut oil. So anything oily, that's also called fat. So we'll talk about their inside story how they're structured in a moment, so bear with me. So micronutrients, as I mentioned, that vitamins and minerals, we'll be talking about that in next chapter, so I'm skipping this slide. And first of all, out of 3 macronutrients, first one is carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are 2 types, simple carbohydrate and complex. Simple carbohydrates are in the plant sources. They're easy to digest, easy to give you calorie, easy to nutrify you, easy to give you, restore your health and give you enough phytochemical, phytonutrients and mineral to nutrify you, to give you energy. And complex carbohydrates are like which is processed. It sometimes could be non-processed. For instance, bread, rice, millet, quinoa, barley. These are the complex. This body need is good digestible, but it's if it is processed, it takes longer. It take long time to digest and absorb the nutrient. And if it is processed so much, body cannot absorb it. Body doesn't get the nutrient from there. And also when you processed, which again we call complex carbohydrate, its structure of the compound changed, so body do not recognize that as a food. So body put as a fat cell or making a trouble in digestion and all kind of health problems. So carbohydrate plant-based is a better. If somebody have a health issue like diabetic or heart disease or cancer, they have to go to simple carbohydrate than complex one. But what happened in the society, we got so much used to get complex carbohydrate, we think that is the only carbohydrate source, which is not. And sometimes we feel dizzy if you don't get complex carbohydrate because we get used to so much. Body look for it, but we don't need that much unless we need very much high calorie to gain weight. So to lose weight, to get out of the disease, to nutrify us, we have to go simple carbohydrate. Carbohydrates in the food are foods are as I said, this could be sugar, it could be polysaccharide, monosaccharide, disaccharide. As a holistic nutritionist, you do not need to go that deep in details. You need to understand what are the carbohydrates are, what are the complex, what are the simple. That should be enough for you to dealing your clients, taking care of your patients. But for your own interest, you do study different types of carbohydrates and their structures. That always will be helpful. And then carbohydrates have a lot of confusion. People think, oh, I cannot survive without eating bread, I cannot survive without eating rice, which is not true though. People say, hey, I need a calorie, so I need I need rice, I need to get energy, I need to walk, I need to move, I cannot move without eating rice. So which is not true though, because without carbohydrate you can survive. It's just how you feel, because you've been used to for a long time. If somebody have a health issue, again you have to go to ketogenic less carb, not ketogenic, not always perfect, let's go less carb diet. Or instead of complex carb, you have to go to the simple carbohydrate, which is plant-based. And whatever you take, it comes into a small molecule, which is glucose. So you take plant, they have a glucose, but less. But if you take bread and millet and quinoa and pasta and barley and any types of carb, they also transfer to the glucose as a only sugar. But again, if they are processed, they are going to be dangerous. That makes all the toxicity and indigestion. And as I said earlier chapter, first module, indigestion is the key of all disease. According to research, according to National Health Institute, 80% disease coming from indigestion. But in fact, 99% disease coming from indigestion. Sources carbohydrates are again one of the plant-based. If not plant-based, are the bread, you see pasta, sandwich, barley, quinoa, oatmeal. These all are the carbohydrates. Milk has a lot of carbohydrates too. So these are the sources. And vegetable sources, every vegetable source have some carbohydrates. There is some calorie. but less calorie than others, complex and complex carbohydrates. The sugar, any types of sugary food, sugary fruits, and types of processed sugar, cane sugar, plum sugar, any types of brown sugar, or any types of sugar, they have a carbohydrate as well. So carbohydrates are mostly calorie coming from sugar or plant or any types of rice, barley, quinoa, bread, these kind of things we call as a carbohydrate. The problem is processed carbohydrate. When you process carbohydrate, this is dangerous. Why? Because processed carbohydrate has only sugar left. You see the image I have. This is like a piece of suppose barley or bread. So God created this barley or bread or wheat. By default, it has a lot of good things. It has a antioxidant, it has a vitamins, it has a fibers, it has a grains. It's a beautiful things are installed to nutrify us. But what happening when you process it? Look at that. The top two layers are germ and bran. They depletes. When bran and germ depletes, which should have a fibers and vitamins and antioxidants and grains, are gone. So you're eating only endosperm, which is only sugar. You see? So when you eat, you have to have a raw and non-processed. So you get all installed nutrients comes with a carbohydrates or any types of food. I'm talking about in general any food. When you process it, this is like example how processed food lose all the nutrients, leaves off only the sugary part, only the non-nutrient part. And fiber. Fiber is extremely important. Fiber you can find all kinds of plant sources. Many fruits have a fiber, and most of the fruits have a fiber, but apple is like number one for the fiber source. It's a lot of fiber. It's filling. It feed your microbiomes. Microbiome means good bacteria who taking care of our system. It reduces cholesterol. It hook up with the cholesterol, take out of our body. If you have extra cholesterol installed in your body, so powerful. And it's also hold your body, hold water into your body. So it makes you hydrated when you have a fibrous food you intake. And then sometimes people get confused. Actually, according to research, many people are confused. What is the fiber form? Which is the fiber? Fiber are actually only from the plant sources purely. It's a period. Only from fiber source, only from plant sources. So someone think that I'm eating a beef, I'm getting some fiber, which is not true. So this is according to the Institute of Medicine. They declared that fiber only from the plant-based sources. So fibers are many types: cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, pectin, and there's many types. So every types have specific sources. So what you need to be careful, instead of going all different types and different sources, so we need to understand that all plant-based sources, foods, we need to be intaking a regular basis. We need to change our food habit so we can get all types of fiber. So you need to worry about the counting and memorizing their names. We better all types of fiber you need. So all types of fiber we should take in the rotation basis. You should not be keep eating, oh, I like only spinach, I'm gonna eat spinach my whole life. Yes, you do, but you have to keep changing all types of green, leafy, colorful vegetables and grains and produces. Sugar have a big confusion. People think sugar is so bad. Some people say, oh, sugar is fantastic because sugar gives us energy, which is both are true. Because sugar is fantastic because that gives us calorie, that gives us energy. But someone have already are diabetic, some already have a cancer in the body, they cannot take sugar because that sugar will feed cancerous cell. That sugar will make that person more insulin resistance to get more diabetic. So in that case, you understand that sugar is good when someone is not a health problem. For instance, and if you are not a health problem, take a pretty good amount of sugar, no problem, but from the right sources, like the fruit sources, like a honey, like a the fruits, and some vegetable also has a sugar. So raw honey, raw plant-based sugar, fruits-based sugar is the best for you when you need sugar, when you want to sugar, when you can enjoy sugar. But someone have a health issue like a diabetes and heart disease and cancer, they cannot touch sugar at all, carbohydrate at all. So if you take sugary sources from the fruits and plant-based, by default you're getting fiber, vitamin, mineral, antioxidant, phytonutrient with the sugar. You see, you're getting benefited multiple ways. And if you take processed sugar, like a nowadays all fruits are foods are sugar coated. Everywhere is a sugar. You have eating sauce, have a sugar. You're getting a like simple something fruits dressing, have a sugar. Where are you gonna go? So everything have a sugar added. So you have to be careful when you take this kind of sauces or salad dressings and stuff, and then food processed in the store. Most of them are sugary food. And in fact, if I go to the fruits markets or food market, I don't see any food without sugar coated. Everywhere has a sugar. So this is extremely dangerous. Sugar is everywhere. We should be careful with that. And sugar actually more dangerous even than cigarette. So, and cigarette is now written as a harmful. So sugar should be written as a harmful. If somebody add any sugar, that should be the policy we should be adopt. And when you eat sugar, what happens? This processed sugar makes liver fat. It store all the sugar as a glycogen, and then produce more fat cell, because it feed the fat cell, and if you keep burning them, they're gonna make a more fat cell, make some human body fat. And this also makes more problem, processed sugar, because that makes cancer, that makes triglyceride high, that makes insulin resistance. That's insulin resistance means make diabetic. Inflammation means that's lead you to autoimmune diseases, and triglyceride means when you have triglyceride high, you have a good chance to heart attack and all kind of problem it develops. So processed sugar should be careful. If you need to eat sugar, have to be healthy, raw, from the right sources. And fructose, sometimes people fructose means which coming from the fruits, sugar coming from the fruits, that's called fructose. People say, hey, glucose is not good, but fructose is good. But fructose is good again if someone can handle it, someone have no health issues. But someone have health issues, glucose and fructose gonna be affecting in the same way. So that's why fruits sugar also should not be taken when someone have a major health issue. According to research, many research came out that you take, as you see the research in the Journal of Nutrition, American Journal of Nutrition, here it shows that how whatever you take, honey, someone have a diabetes, take honey or glucose or fruits, is going to be affecting as a same. So you should be careful when you take honey, therefore as a blessing, or it's a natural. Yes, it is good for you when you can handle it, when body have no health issue. And sugar also, even the healthy person have excess sugar, makes you as you see here, makes you it's simply it excess carbohydrate, excess sugar makes insulin resistance, and this makes you store more fat, and that more fat is going to be more disease, because every fat cell is a carcinogen. Every fat cell is a garbage container. It's gonna produce you disease from fat cell. Disease is gonna come literally from the fat cell. So as you see, when you have excess sugar, excess carb, that's gonna make a insulin resistance. Insulin resistance gonna make you all disease. Is a glycolysis. It's gonna make you all kind of disease you can name of, coming from insulin resistance. And if you're wondering what is insulin resistance is when body is not processing sugar molecule to give you energy. That means you are insulin resistance. If you get insulin resistance, sugar will not be processed into energy, so you'll get fat and more diseases. And according to CDC, it shows that it's in the bottom. According to, it's in the bottom under my image, according to CDC, references here I'm talking about. So according to CDC, when you have a obesity problem, when you have a this kind of insulin resistant issue, then it's gonna produce all the disease: heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, allergy, and cancer, and food allergy, and all the disease is gonna grow slow day by day. And people don't feel disease unless it beyond the tolerate level. So somewhere you see young men eating junk, they are fine, but they are not really fine. They're already sick, but sickness doesn't show up unless it go beyond the limit. It's gonna pop up one day when you get sometimes. Actually, young people I see, they need to their kidney stone need to take out. Why? They get young people are getting diabetes, which we call type 1 diabetes, juvenile diabetes. Why? Because young people are not eating healthy. They are not taught to be healthy eating or to be healthy. So that thing we need to accommodate. We need to teach our generation how to be healthy. And again, overweight is dangerous. There is no overweight person could be healthy. It's not possible. Okay, so when you have fast food, it quickly go to the bloodstream, makes sugar high, and produces all disease fast. That's what I mean with this slide. And mostly it affects the liver. Liver gets absorb the glycogen as excess calorie or sugar or carbohydrate, and makes you fat and makes it toxicated, and gets liver fat, and then liver fibrosis, and then liver cirrhosis. Look, you see, all coming. As a healthy person just eating this food, they get sick, like sick and fat like that. So why this confusion about the sugar and fatty food and processed food? The confusion and the wrong message and the wrong conception in the society is because most of our research, health research and food research, is funded by junk food industries. And those, imagine Coca-Cola is funding research of the food. What could be the outcome? Even though outcome is good, they publish the part which is going to be supporting their business, supporting to sell their product. So the true research, true information or data is not coming to the market because they're not publishing that. They publish that, they do like cherry pick. They keep or publish part of the research which can benefit their own business. So that is the problem. And all of the research are funded by all the junk food industries. Imagine why that all wrong messages. So again, go back. We have to choose our right carbohydrate, and so at the end, I would say that who cannot have carb? The people who are diabetic or excess fat in the body, which is called obesity or obese or overweight person, cannot have excess cannot have carbohydrate. Someone get fat, someone come to you, I got overweight, what should I do? The first thing you need to do, cut down the carb, cut down the sugar. Someone is diabetic, first thing you need to do, cut down the carb, cut down the sugar. Someone is autoimmune disease, that's carbohydrate problem, because carbohydrate convert to sugar trigger the autoimmune problem. Like someone with cancer, you have to stop the carb means sugar, because cancer patient have a cancer cell need 10 times more sugar than the regular cell. So they need to stop this carbohydrate to stop growing their cancer cell. Someone, let's say overweight, they have to stop the carbohydrate, because carbohydrate is going to be converting sugar, and someone is overweight, he already is insulin resistant, so he is unable to convert carbohydrate into the calorie, so that's going to make his fat cell grow and grow more and more. And someone might think that, hey, I need to have carb because otherwise I'm going to survive, I'm going to get energy. Remember that human body have a beautiful design that God created, which we have. There is one simple science I'm going to tell you. It's called gluconeogenesis. That's scientists figured out. Gluconeogenesis is someone is not taking any carb or sugar. Gluconeogenesis is a glucose. Gluco means glucose. Neo means new. Genesis means generation. So new glucose generation happen from the fat cell, from the dead tissue. For instance, every day our body is regenerating, right? So tissues are dying. So the dead tissue, dead cell, and then extra fat we have stored, those fat cell is break down from any part of the organ, break down into the calorie to supply you the energy that you need. If body couldn't find any fat, they will break even muscle. They will break the tissues to give you the calorie. So body will break down into all the fat cell into the calorie, into the energy, when you don't take direct carbohydrate or sugar, because that's how the beauty of the body system is. It's gonna supply you calorie, but initially you'll be feel dizzy and tired and weak, because that's our body want you to eat carb, because you get used to. But you don't need to, because you want to get out of your health issue, get out of your get out of your all kind of health problem that you have. So the second macronutrient is protein. So protein is another confusion to us in the society. Again, in the class I will be teaching you guys what need you to learn to take care of yourself, take care of your patients as a nutritionist. So protein is the most confusing topic or element in the society. People think, oh hey, I need protein because I need to grow, which is true, because human body, the first building block start making body cell is protein. So protein is extremely important. Without protein, cell even cannot grow. So we need protein all the time. Every moment cell is constantly regenerating. From where? From protein first, then mineral, which is plant-based, phytochemicals and phytonutrient, and then fat comes up as a covering the cell membrane. That's a complete cell regeneration. So protein is extremely important. So protein, as I said, building block. It gives us same calorie that carb gives you. Carb and protein gives similar types of amount of calorie, and there are many types of around 80 protein discovered, because the unit of protein is called amino acid. Okay, so there are more than 80 amino acid has been discovered, and human body needs about 8 to 10 essential amino acid, and again they give similar types of carb. They give similar types of calorie. So if you want to lose weight, protein-based food is a good idea to start. And as you see, protein structures, I'm not teaching you more chemical structure, mostly how proteins look like. Proteins, again, unit is amino acid. Amino acid has a two part. One is COOH, other part is NH2. That's a two different end of amino acid, and combination of amino acid makes a protein. Protein looks like that, proteins, different types of structure, primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structures look different way. It's kind of three-dimensional structure, and in simple structure it's developed with the CONH2, and 2N with a two different structure. One part is NH2, other part is COOH, which is acid. And then why protein is needed? We talked about that protein needs everywhere, for the brain, nervous system, our blood vessel, muscle, skin, hair, for our transporting our vitamins, minerals, and fats, and oxygen and acid base balance. Protein needs everywhere. Protein, as I said, it needs us to grow. we need that becoming to grow. So and for the young kids, they need protein actually more than older because they are growing faster than the others. So pregnant women need more protein, and someone is vegan or a vegetarian or a strict diet, they need proteins too. So there's many functions you can take a look. I have one cartoon here how protein is so important. Proteins, they said some proteins are essential, some are not as essential, but again, as a nutritionist, you do not need to count down that am I taking enough protein, which one I need next, which protein I'm not taking or not taking, which one is essential, which one is not. As you see, these are the essential, but do you need to count? We do not. If you take different protein sources, if you suggest to your client to take different protein sources, that's fine. Somebody need more protein, intake all kind of protein, it should be fine, and that body will balance and balance by itself, because it's hard to balance how much you take, how much you don't take. So be healthy, take a healthy source of protein. Even though you get excess, that should be fine. Body can handle it to hold it and use it next time as a calorie. And so according to research, nothing wrong to know is according to the guidelines. According to guidelines, so as I said, according to guidelines, our food should have 10 to 35% protein, and different as the protein, different guideline mentions, but I would say balanced protein, enough amount of protein from different multiple source, and changing the sources would be the best approach instead of focusing how much you're taking, even though it says 35%. But if you less protein one day, other day more protein, that should be okay. And protein function, we talked about that earlier, so you can skip this slide. And now the problem is that what is the source of protein? If I ask you, if someone is a vegan, is he deficient of protein? You might say yes, because vegan eating all the vegetables and plants, they don't get protein, which is not true, by the way. If you look at the world-renowned athletes like Serena Williams, she said that she is 22 years vegan, and as soon she started consuming all the plants and vegetables, she started becoming vegan, she started performing better than before. So to maintain your brain function and better homeostasis level, to make you your better metabolism and the digestion system, vegan is the best option. But it should not be 100% vegan. I believe those athletes who claim themselves vegan, they are not taking 100% vegan food. Sometimes maybe they cheat, sometimes maybe take plant and animal fat, sometimes maybe they go beyond the vegan. I believe that's also okay. But all athletes, if you look at the this guy, he world champion in Olympics and different types of champions, he is fully vegan. And look at the Tim Chef. Tim Sharif said that he has been vegan, and as soon as he started vegan, his energy, his focus, his everything performing so well. And because why that happened? Because look at that. If you think about that, meat, we think meat is the only source, milk is the only source, egg is the source of protein, which is true. But egg only have 12% protein. But beef only have 25% protein, likewise chicken. If you look at the spinach, which has a 49% highest percent of protein, have you ever thought about it? We have been thinking spinach is simple, vegetable. It has some kinds of, maybe fiber. No, it's half of the protein, half of the, spinach is protein, because spinach is a living species. It made of different types of ingredients, and when spinach made itself, it also made by protein. So any living species, any plant, any grown, any produce has to have protein in it, because that's how it developed. Without protein, a cell cannot develop, right? So when you have a plant, that's also protein, because plant cell is developed from the protein. So you need to that into consideration, that any plant, any grown, any lentil, any legumes, any kind of whole food have a protein. Not necessarily always has to be chicken and egg and stuff like that. So as a vegan or vegetarian, you're getting enough amount of protein to make it strong, but you don't get enough hormone, because even healthy meat has a hormone, because every animal has a hormone. So you're eating egg, you're eating meat or fish, it has its hormone. And if you get conventional meat, it has a huge hormone, huge antibiotic, huge steroid. That's a different story. Even organic, even healthy, if you grow your own fish, grow your own chicken, it has its own hormone. When you take it, it comes to our body, makes hormonal imbalance. That makes us less, less focused. That makes us weaker immune system, and it makes hormonal imbalance in our system, and it reduces the brain function. So even though healthy chicken, healthy animal fat have to be limited portion. So some people even cannot have this kind of animal protein. They have to depend on 100% vegan based protein. So who are they? Someone have arthritis, like joint pain, like knee pain, back pain. They cannot have this kind of protein, animal protein. They need to avoid. They need to go plant-based protein. Someone have a irritable bowel syndrome. Their bowel doesn't move properly. Someone has gastritis, like acid formation, acid reflux, or any kinds of ulcer, or any kinds of acidity problem. They need to stay away from this kind of animal protein. Like someone has a indigestion, have a always sound, get different of sound in the stomach, they get different of bloating and discomfort going on. Those people also need to stop this kind of animal protein. Those people also need to stop protein which like a lentil and legume and nuts. They need to stop them too, because those also not good for the digestion when somebody already have this kind of health problems. Then fat is another important topic we need to discuss. This fat, if you ask someone fat is good, they say fat is good. Someone say how fat bad, they say yes, fat is very bad. So if you even Google it, fat is healthy or do you need fat, many researchers would say fat is so good, you need fat. If you go fat is bad, a lot of researchers would say, oh my god, fat is so bad, that makes you sick, that makes you fat, that makes you sick. Which one are you gonna take? So you have to know the evidence-based, research-based, fact-based knowledge whether fat is good or bad. First of all, what is fat? Fat is made up of fatty acid and glycerol, and these fat are different types: trans fat, saturated fat, and cholesterol types of fat. So fat gives you energy, because when you eat fat you feel filling, because it gives a lot of energy. Fat gives us more than 9 kilocalorie per gram, but protein and carbohydrate gives you only 4.5 kilocalorie per gram. So fat gives you more than double calorie than protein and carb sources. So fat is very filling and very high calorie. There are different types. There are saturated and unsaturated. Saturated means they are completely all in single bond, and unsaturated means they are not. Unsaturated means they are double bond or triple bond, And so difference between saturated and unsaturated is saturated fat, it doesn't break down easily. The unsaturated fat, it has double bond, it breaks easily and quickly go to give you energy or brain function or hormone formation or cholesterol formation, whatever you need, it goes and action right away. But trans fat takes time, make a more and longer process to break down in our digestive tract, because you need to have enough bile production, you need to have a good liver function to digest saturated fat better. And if you do not have better digestion ability, and this saturated fat is going to be undigested and convert into the fat quickly, that is not good. That's going to develop all disease, all candida and parasite and yeast grow in the human body. So I'm not focusing on the disease part that much, because this disease part will be focusing on our next course, which is holistic practitioner course. Let's go to the what is the function of fat. So a lot of people hate fat without knowing it, and a lot of research research are not constant research, they go by cherry picking, and so that's why they think fat is bad. Actually, fat is making our cell membrane. Without fat, our body cell will not be developing properly. You will get a faulty cell. And then fat is important because fat protect us, our organs. Fat protect our develop our nervous system. And without enough fatty acid, which comes from the fat, nervous system is not going to work properly. Because if nervous system doesn't work, then your whole homeostasis level is gonna break down, because nervous system is a key of your that brain gets what's going on or what to do, how can you respond. If you need to drink water, how do you know? Nervous system gonna tell you how to talk, what to talk, how you talk properly. You need to have very strong nervous system. And body temperature balance, and hormone production and brain function, detox your brain. So fat has a many importance functions. Again, as every moment human body cell is constantly regenerating. By how? By the fat cell, by the fat. Fat is the one making cell membrane. Even though protein is the one starter or building block of cell generation, but fat need to come makes a cell membrane. So some fat are essential, some are non-essential. Essentials are omega-3, omega-6 is very essential, but saturated fat is not essential. But if you take it, if you're healthy, that is good for you. Never, there no research showing that saturated fat could be bad for you. There is no research, evidence-based research shows like that. So fat is essential. Some like omega-3, omega-6, this is extremely important. Without fat, you're going to be developing all the diseases, because your system will not working, cell will not developing properly without enough essential fat. And non-essential fat, again, you can take it as a calorie, because that will help you to better function in your body. Omega-3, omega-6, what is the difference? Omega-3, omega-6 difference is only omega-3 in the third position, they have a double bond, and omega-6 in the sixth position, they have a double bond. That is the mostly difference, but we need more omega-3 than omega-6, and we need both. It is very, very essential to make it cell development and all other functions. Also, cholesterol. Cholesterol is the one number one confusing topic in the world, because to sell the drug, people trying to make this confusing, because cholesterol cannot be bad. there is no proof that cholesterol could do any bad job. Even though someone say LDL is bad, HDL is good. LDL, which is low density lipoprotein, and HDL, high density lipoprotein. So they're not even cholesterol, they're like a carrier. They carry cholesterol from liver to whole body or whole body to liver. LDL take cholesterol from liver to throughout the body, and HDL bring back cholesterol into the liver. There is a difference. So why they say LDL is bad? Because it found in the artery, in the heart artery. Well, it is true, it is found there, but it go to heal your artery when you have some problem. So when artery is inflamed or have some wound and damage and toxicity build up in the artery because they have been taking all toxic food, excess sugar, processed food, and all kinds of preservatives, and those things makes artery inflamed, and LDL go to heal the artery which is damaged by all kinds of excessive chemical, and LDL get oxidized. If you have a healthy life, LDL do all the good things to take care of a system. When LDL gets oxidized in the artery, doesn't mean that LDL is bad, because LDL job is to go get the good things. And when I go to get good things done, LDL get oxidized and clog in the artery. And HDL bring cholesterol back into the liver from anywhere you have produced or excessive cholesterol. But this cholesterol LDL could not work properly because we are toxicated. So if we purify our body, if we take care of our system, this LDL HDL is gonna be all beneficial, all created for a good purpose. So blaming the LDL is like blaming a firefighter, because firefighter comes to your body, to your house when you have a fire, and firefighter dies in here or he get killed in here, and we blame, hey, firefighter is the one causing the fire, because when fire was here we found he's here. Yes, he was here because he want to help you to take care of your house, to stop the burn. So blaming firefighter is not the right way. Likewise, blaming LDL or cholesterol is not the good thing when you have your own problem, when your artery is not clean, when your artery is toxicated with too many toxic chemicals. And the research, there is no research showing that that no research support that LDL could be doing any bad thing. So this is the normal artery. This is a clogged artery. You see how the plaque build up. There should be calcium. There should be some some LDL in here oxidized. We'll talk about heart disease and artery in the heart disease chapter, which is maybe module 8 or 9 or 7, 8. We'll talk about that. And I'm gonna skip in here to show that there is no proof that saturated fat is bad. There is no proof research-based that evidence-based research. Even Harvard University Harvard University ran a big study on 15,000 people to see control research can prove that fat is bad or LDL is bad. They found that if someone is controlled with all kinds of toxicity and sugar, their brain function, their calorie burning, everything go faster when they put a fat-based diet. So LDL, cholesterol, and fat could not be blamed. There's no research about that. Why? Because as you see, it heals diabetes. If you're fat, it heals diabetes. It take care of your heart. It take care of your cancer disease. It take care of your respiratory system. It take care of your all kind of damage and wound and allergy that you have. If you have a pure system, fat is going to be doing all the thing, because fat convert into ketone, which works as a ketosis. And study more about the ketosis, how ketosis is helping to get out of all types of disease. And ketosis means you're taking fat more than carbohydrate and sugar. That's, you get energy from the fat as a ketone molecule instead of sugar. That start, and then body goes to healing mode if you can do that. But again, someone have a digestion problem, someone already have a big health problem, they need to treat your problem first, then start working with a fat-based diet. So fat are like an egg. Look at that conventional egg. Look at the pure grass-fed organic egg. Look at the meat, how the meat look like, how the organic meat look like. Look at the milk. Milk we have pasteurized. This is dangerous in the shell. So don't get milk from the shelf. Get a raw milk that has a lot of enzyme, actually more than 20,000 enzymes that can take care of your system. So raw milk is the best milk you can think of. And what if you get excess? What if you get excess fat? What if you excess calorie or excess cholesterol? It's not a problem if your body have enough fiber source. If you take enough fiber, that fiber bind with the cholesterol, bind with the extra fat, take that out from your body, make your body healthy, and keep the amount of cholesterol or fat or fatty acid you need to survive, to be healthy. So if you have enough fiber sources, fibrous food, and even the excess fat is not going to be a problem, body will balance it by itself. Our human body is a fantastic self-healing and self-maintaining, self-balancing system. We just need to put the right ingredient. Instead of worry about more or less, we just need to put all kind of ingredient, body can balance by its own. So fatty sources are like avocado, all kind of nuts, and olive oil, and then healthy meat, and then cheese, butter, ghee. This kind of creamy cheese are the fatty source. Coconut oil is fantastic too. You can fry with the coconut oil. It's not going to harm. Coconut oil is very saturated. It doesn't break down into with the heat. So it's heat tolerable. If you want to fry something, cook with the coconut oil. That's a great thing you can do instead of cooking with the other oil, because other oil breaks down, makes it become a poison. If you put coconut oil, that is stay good and it take care of your system. And avoid the processed fat and processed sugar and processed carb, processed protein should be avoided, because processed food lost its own structure. So this is not a food anymore. You think this is food, but this is not a food anymore. That's, you gotta be careful. And this is a list of processed food I have for you, and for your client. You can like processed carb, bread, cereal bar, processed frozen cans have a lot of toxic chemical to freeze them, and processed dairy have no enzyme to help you. As a result, as an end, you get develop lactose intolerance. And soft drinks are all cancerous, is proven cancerous. And GMO, genetic modified food, and the grilled food, grilled meat is found class 1 carcinogens that need to be avoided. And refined salt, refined sugar is dangerous. It comes with tons of extra chemical and is bleached. This is definitely not good for humanity. So what you need to be eating then in terms of macronutrient that we're talking about? In macronutrients, we're talking about what you need to avoid it is carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates or complex carbohydrate. Try to get plant-based carbohydrate instead of complex and processed carb. And protein, wild caught fish and seafood is the best. Bean, lentil, legumes, that could be a good protein. And fat, grass-fed, dairy, milk, egg, chicken, beef, coconut, avocado, seed, nuts, all kinds of healthy stuff you can take. Again, fat depending on how much you can tolerate. If you cannot tolerate fat, someone with a health issue, they need to fix health issue, then go back to fat, or even excess fat is not a problem. Body will gonna manage its fat. I just had a seminar yesterday in west part of Houston. It's a big gathering. So someone asking, can I eat egg? Is it healthy? I said, yes, you can. As soon as I started eating 5 eggs in the morning, I became healthy. So that's what it is. So if you get healthy diet with a lots of fat, it's the best for you, but you have to be healthy first, then you can start taking this kind of diet. And then there's a lots of diet plan in the market. There's no diet plan should be exist, because everybody have their own need. Someone need more carb to gain more weight. Someone need no carb to lose weight. Someone cannot have fat, so have a indigestion problem. Someone someone is a young boy, they need more protein because they need to grow faster. Someone is pregnant, they need more protein to grow the baby and make it more cell. So there is no this kind of the ideas plate dividing, it should not be exist. Everybody have their own unique need based on what's your health goal, what's your purpose, what you are trying to achieve. If you like fat, want to be more weight, get more carb. If you're trying to lose weight, get more fat, less carb. If you're trying to be healthy, go plant-based diet. See, that's how you adjust your food. You suggest your client to be healthy and get out of the disease. And is there any unhealthy fat? There is no unhealthy fat unless someone processed it, like conventional meat. You have so much steroid, so much hormone, so much antibiotic. It's like come to our body. When you take a piece of chicken from the market, from the store, it's like an atom bomb comes to your body, killing all your microbiomes. Body doesn't know how to process it. It is a processed meat. It turns into the fat cell. You see, so conventional fatty sources are dangerous because it comes with a lot of toxic additives with it. So, but if you get an organic meat, if you get a grass-fed beef, if you get a wild-caught fish, if you get a healthy nuts, if you get a any kinds of cheese, butter, ghee with a healthy organic milk, it's the best for you. Enjoy it. And who cannot have fat? A lot of people have a gallbladder. Gallbladder has been underappreciated. That's why everyone have a back pain, knee pain, stuff like that. So when you have a pain in the very right side in here, right side, that means you have a under the ribs, that you have a gallbladder issue, and also liver issue could be. As you see in the here, right below the liver have a gallbladder. If you have a pain in here, you got to be careful eating fat, because you have to fix the gallbladder, then you can start taking more fat. Like gallbladder point also in the right hand between the joint have a little pain. If you feel a little pain in here, that you have a gallbladder problem. This is a pressure point for gallbladder. Then you should not be using fatty sources for your healthy diet. Also, if your knee hurts, if you have a discomfort after eating fat, if you feel dizzy after eating fat, that means you have a fat indigestion. You fix your health with a plant-based diet and then go back to enjoying fatty sources like what I have here: arthritis, you have a gastritis, you have indigestion, bowel movement problem. You do that. So finally, I like to conclude with plant-based carbohydrate and protein are powerful for optimum health. If any health issue, go plant-based. You're gonna improve. But if you have a severe health issue, of course you need natural medicine. You need to go to the holistic doctor or naturopath. You need to treat your health problem naturally. But usually, to be healthy, plant-based protein and carb is the best for you to be achieving optimum health. And processed food should be limited for anyone, for any region, for any age of people. Healthy fat and fiber sources food are filling, and you should be always enjoying healthy fat and enough fiber. That is the best you can do. And there is no evidence-based research that fat could be bad. No evidence-based research that fat could make heart disease unless someone already messed up their health with a lot of toxic chemical and indigestion. So that's all I have today. If you have any question, please feel free, send me email or write in the comment section. I'll be definitely try to reply your message.